In this week's video about live workshops, we are talking about creation, not consumption. Hi, I'm Sam Norberg. Welcome to Weekly Mini Training, where we are talking all things live workshops. And in this video, as I mentioned, we're talking about the concept of creation and not consumption. So this comes from an event I went to many years ago called Brain Friendly Learning, and it was all about how we can teach in a way that makes sense to people, in a way that is brain friendly, that helps us just absorb the information. And one of the big takeaways that came out of this event for me was the concept of creation, not consumption. So consumption is when your students are just sitting and listening to someone else's information. It happens in school, it happens in university, right? It's what we do, consumption of information. But consumption is not always learning. And what you want to do is put a focus on creation. Now, some people freak out by the idea of this because the whole theory here is then that the students create the content, not the facilitator. The facilitator is there to facilitate, to manage, not to lecture. Of course, you need to put some of your own content in there too, and that's why in last week's video we spoke about your stuff. But the majority of the stuff needs to be user-generated content. Get them to come up with the answers. So some of the ways I do this is pose a question to the class and allow them time to brainstorm the answer. In most things in life now, there isn't a right answer, especially if you're teaching soft skills or anything like that. It's not about them memorizing facts. It's not about their times tables or the periodic table or any other table you can think of, right? If you want them to do that, then fine. Consumption it is. But this is not about memorizing facts. This is about you helping them learn something useful. It could be a skill or whatever it might be. Get them to create. So pose a question and get them to work out the answer. Pose a project and get them to work together to produce that. Create a research task and say, let's go learn about this, let's talk about it, let's come up with the concepts together. But don't sit there and spoon feed information, because it's not going to create you the results that you want for them, and it's not going to create the results that they want. This creation versus consumption thing can be a little bit to get your head around to start with. So to start with, you feel like they've paid you for you to tell them the right answer, right? But it's not just about that in a live workshop. By all means, as I said, teach the content, but make sure that you teaching the content is a tiny portion. The 80-20 rule applies to most things. Hell, use it here again too. 80% of the time should not be you teaching. Yeah, scary, hey? Right? Most teachers would think 80% of the time should be them, 20% of the time should be students. No, other way around. 80% of the time should be them creating the content. That's things like group discussion, that's implementation, that's research, it's whatever it is. It's them facilitating the content, them setting up and talking about their experiences. 20% of that time should be you lecturing, teaching content. So jump in the comments box down below for me and tell me, what do you think about this concept of creation versus consumption? It is a little hard to get your head around to start with, so let me know what you think.